What's up, Rooted Collective? Welcome back to Awakened and Rooted, where the veil is thin, the vibes are deep, and the stories will make you question everything. So if you are into the mystical, the metaphysical, or the downright unexplainable, you are in the right place. So let's get into it.
Okay, y'all know that we bought a 100-year-old home a couple months ago, and we've gone through everything, literally everything, and today, I'm scared. Look at what we found.
We have our wine cellar, and today I was like, you know, what's up here? What's up there on the wine cellar?
So you would think the wall ends there, right? No, wrong, it doesn't.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, let me check up there and see what's going on. I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing here. Hey, wait, but wait a second. Whoa, there's a whole little area back here that they just wasted. But what the fuck is this? Is that a door? What the
Well, we're gonna try to open it. But if y'all don't hear from us, and if there's no part 2, we're dead.
There's a door back there. To get back to it, though, we have to remove the wine cellar area. So, I mean,
Wish us luck.
What do we do?
I have got to find part 2 to that. Mauricio OHT is the name of the channel. I have got to find part 2 to that because I have got to find out what happened when they went behind there and opened that door. That cannot be good.
Yep, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for the money. Yep. Oh, stop. Hold on. Whoa. Shut. Motherfucker. Oh, hell no.
Alright, so I have watched magical poltergeist videos before. I was kind of iffy about them. I don't know how sure I am about this one. Did you all see like the little black, whatever that was that kept going around the kitchen? I don't know.
Yeah, something really weird happened last night. So I woke up at like, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And I just had this overwhelming feeling like I'm being watched. So I get up, start to go towards the door, and I swear I hear somewhere in the house a door open and close. So that freaks me out, but I go investigate like an idiot. I just go walking all around the house, checking every room. I check the basement, I check the garage, I check everywhere. Check the front and back door to make sure they're locked. Nothing, right? So I go lay back down, and then I'm laying there. Check this out. I'm laying there, still feeling like I'm being watched, and I start to hear this ticking sound, right? We're in here. She's asleep, but I'm hearing this ticking sound. Just tick, 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 and I'm like, what the hell is that? So finally I get up and start to chase down the source of it. Y'all, this clock has never worked. She's had it for years. She said it has never, ever worked. Look at this. This thing has never worked before. I don't even know how to... Y'all, I feel like things have escalated ever since we went to the freaking farmhouse. Maybe that wasn't a great idea.
Maybe it wasn't. And maybe the clock just decided they wanted to start working again. I don't know.
After I got back from a short run, I came back to take a shower before going to work. And after the shower, I go into my room, getting dressed, and I hear somebody walking down the stairs. These stairs. Clearly somebody walking down the stairs. And then I hear some shuffling, so I come downstairs. I'm like, hello? Nobody's here. No one was here early this morning. And I come downstairs into the kitchen, and this is what I find. Let me turn the light on. This is what I find. I'm officially freaked out. Nobody's in here. All the cabinet doors in the drawers are open. All of them. I am not scared, but I am officially freaked out. All of the doors are open. Didn't hear this kind of noise. I heard like shuffling, like somebody was in here walking or something. And then I come in here, and these drawers are open as well. And the chairs are by the table, but turned the other way. I mean, what the fuck? This is so weird. I've experienced stuff in this hotel before, but nothing like this.
Feeling two people, either business partners or a married couple, they don't feel like siblings or even family. If it was family, it was like distant cousins. They are just constantly bickering with each other, and they are two very introverted people that are very unhappy. And so I'm seeing them just like one of them moves a chair and the other one, in spite of them, just moves it the other way. There's a female and a male, and the woman in particular is just coming in and just pissed. They didn't have any major traumas in their life. They just were unhappy human beings. They are not demonic. They are not there to hurt anybody. They are so self-consumed. The level of frustration towards each other and almost hate and annoyance towards each other is strong enough to have kept them from fully passing over. They just bug the crap out of each other.
I was going to ask if that place was like a bed and breakfast or something, because it seemed huge, like too huge to be just like your house, and then you saw all the different tables. But if what that psychic said was true, I'm gonna need y'all passed over people to get your little selves together and stop messing up my house, my hotel, because this is too much, and I'm not going to keep cleaning it up after you.
This is a documentation of me and Chloe, just in case we die.
Yep.
Because we watched this video on TikTok about how Lucifer has come to Earth 3 times, one in the wildfires in Australia, one on the day Corona started, and one on 9/11. Saw his face in the smoke and in the fire. And as soon as the video ended, all the power in the house went off, and we don't know what to do, because literally this is what it looks like outside.
Say hi.
Ryan, if you are here, make yourself known. We welcome you. Oh, that's the dog. What? Car door. Who's here?
I wouldn't want to show it either, because why would somebody want to buy it? I guess if you were just like looking for a location and your whole plan was to gut the whole inside of the house, but then once you gut it, then all of the resting spirits are going to come out.
Y'all want to hear the story about the time that my brother and I had to do some business in Southern California, and we had to stay at a friend's house for about 6 days, and the house that we stayed at was haunted? Oh yeah, here we go, okay? Let me just give you the layout. All right, so the house was pretty nice, pretty big. So the downstairs was, the living room. The upstairs was like the kitchen, the dining room, and the backyard. And then in the hallway, there were 3 rooms. There was a front room and a bathroom next to the front room, and then 2 rooms in the back. And I think one of the rooms had a bathroom as well. Also wanted to mention that this friend of ours was taking care of a woman that was very ill. So she had to be next to the bathroom, right? Which is understandable. So we stay there. First night we stay there, I could not sleep. Okay, nothing weird happened, just couldn't sleep. Okay, so, all right, heard a few things here and there. I'm thinking, okay, it's the rats, whatever. Second night, this is where the shit goes from 0 to 100, and I kid you not. Okay, I hear this damn thing. I don't know if it was I don't even know what I was thinking at first, but instantly, actually, I know what I was thinking. I was like, this sounds like a damn goat. Okay, because it sounded like hooves going from the hallway to the stairs, and the stairs was right next to the couch that I was sleeping at, and I could hear it, and it was loud as fuck. Okay, and I knew even though I was in denial, I knew that shit did not sound normal. All right, so the next day I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I'm just tripping, that was just a one-time thing. Third night happens, same shit, but it happens twice. And so as we're staying there, I'm not sleeping at all. I'm barely getting enough sleep as the sun rises. I'm exhausted. So the fourth night, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to see if I'm tripping and see if anybody sounds like that, because I'm not looking behind me. So I'm paying attention to how everybody walks, how everybody sounds. Even there were like a couple people in the house that had a bit of a heavy foot, but it didn't sound like hooves, okay? And the lady that was terminally ill had very light feet. So that's when I started to get a little freaked out and a little creeped out, okay? This is when things get funky. So that damn thing did the same, and it wouldn't go all the way down the stairs. It sounded like it would go to the second to the last stair, and then it would go back up slowly. And then wherever it went, I don't know. So this is where it gets weird again, okay? As if you think that's creepy enough. So there was another downstairs where you have like the washer and dryer, and I need to wash some of my clothes and some of my shirts. I like to hang up and air dry, all right? So as you know, you're putting in your load, your other load or whatever, you're letting stuff drive, hanging stuff up. You check to see how everything's going. And some of my shirts are missing. Actually, a couple of my favorite shirts were literally missing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's weird. So I went to the lady that owned the house, and I'm thinking, hey, like, have you seen any of my shirts? Like, I don't see them here. And she's like, oh no, I didn't see where any of them went. I'll keep an eye out. And I'm like trying to look for them, but I literally couldn't find them. It was the weirdest shit. And then I started to get the feeling like, these people might be into some weird stuff. It's okay. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that I'm glad that this is my last day, because this is crazy. So yeah, I just left whatever was there and took whatever I needed, obviously, like the rest of my clothes. And my brother and I were out. And it was weird. But y'all, all I kept thinking about when that thing would go down the stairs and into the hallway was a goat. I don't know, a goat man, I don't know, but it was hooves, loud ass hoof, y'all. It was so fucking loud. I couldn't believe, I literally was like, nobody else is hearing this shit but me. Crazy. What do you guys think? Were they into some weird stuff? Let me know.
Well, let me tell you what I think the Darius. My son's name is Darius. I don't know why you stayed there for 6 days if all of this was happening. What is wrong with you and your brother? Get a hotel room or something. Why are you going to sit there and listen to goat hooves and all that type of stuff for 6 days? I don't know.
I decided I'm going to tell the story about the house that we used to live in. As a Christian, you're taught you're not supposed to believe in spirits. I do believe in spirits. I've personally seen them myself. We moved into the home in 2013. It was my husband, myself, and at the time we had 4 children. I had not had our 5th yet. And we were just starting to move in, so we were painting and getting everything together. My husband left me at the house by myself to paint, and it was in the daytime. It wasn't anything scary. It was a 2-story house. I'm gonna put a picture of it here. The neighborhood is another story that it all intertwines into all of this. If you're from Louisiana, in the area that we live in, folklore that goes with living here, I don't know anything about the land. The house was not a brand new house, but it wasn't old. and I was upstairs painting, and I was by myself in the house. Then all of a sudden, I hear the water turn on in the bathroom. That was my first, like, the knob was already on and they just turned the water on. I didn't think too much into it. It did give me an eerie feeling, but I blew it off because it wasn't that big of a deal. About, I want to say, like, time goes by, little things happen all the time. Like, we hear things all the time, things will like open and close, things will turn on and off. It was just like, kind of just like brushed away, like it wasn't a big deal because we were just like, okay, whatever. Our dogs would bark up the stairs at nothing all the time. So my daughter is born. Things start like kind of picking up around the house where things start happening. My son starts sleepwalking more. There's like, I would wake up, he would be sitting at the foot of my bed. Every time people would come over, they would say they felt like really strange in the house. When my daughter was about 1.5, this is when things really took off, and I don't know why. And I'm gonna give you the backstory of the neighborhood and all the incidents that happened there too as well, because I think it just all ties into it. So my daughter we're home together. Everyone is at school because the kids are older. My husband is at work. So my daughter and I are sitting on the floor in the living room, and she looks behind me and she goes, hi, hi, talking to whoever it is behind me. I picked her up, I was like, let's go outside. I went and sat outside. I was so freaked out. So I'm telling my husband, I'm like, something is wrong with this house. I don't know what it is. It's never felt comfortable. It's always felt heavy. There's something that's just not right in this house. So someone that's close to me, like, I'm a Christian. She practices like some Wiccan. So, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but she just, like, I talked to her. She's like, I'll do a cleansing, you do your cleansing. So I'm gonna read from the Bible. She's gonna do her ritual where, like, we're just gonna try to like tackle whatever's going on in the house. So fast forward to the night that we decide to do that. Well, like, she does her thing, I do my thing, and I'm reading from the Bible, and all of a sudden there's a banging on the door. The kids are screaming at this point. We have cameras all around the house. There's nothing on the cameras. There's nothing outside the door. The banging freaked us out. That was enough to like put us in a spiral. We start looking into selling it because it was just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Things were just happening too often. My son is upstairs taking a shower. Everybody is downstairs. He's the only one upstairs. Well, he starts screaming, Zoe, stop. Like, we can hear him from upstairs screaming, tell Zoe stop. Well, everyone is confused because Zoe is sitting on the sofa. He comes downstairs and he's like, somebody is banging on the door. I know it was you, Zoe. And we're all in the living room. We're like, nobody's banging on the door. Not one person banged on the door. Not one person was upstairs. We were all sitting on the sofa as family, and he went upstairs to shower by himself. But next thing that happened is I'm home by myself. I have my daughter with me, and she's a baby at the time. She's still like 1.5. She's a toddler at this age. All of this, like, everything kind of like amped up within this year. And then we ended up getting out of the house because it was just too much. And that freaks me out too. Okay, I need to be careful what I'm talking about. That kind of scared me. But anyways, so home by myself. My son plays the guitar. I am about to get in the shower, and I have my daughter who is sitting in her little like bouncy seat thing, and I hear from upstairs. Mind you, everyone is at school, my husband is at work. I hear the guitar strum, like I hear the guitar strum. I'm like, maybe like their dad dropped them off because we have a his, hers, and our situation. So I was like, maybe their dad brought them home from school. And I'm like, but wait, the lock is on the door. There's no way they could have gotten in. So I go out, all the house is locked. I'm screaming like Landon, Evan. I'm calling for my kids. No one is answering me. No one is home. I go upstairs. The guitar is laying on the ground upstairs. So at this point, I'm like, okay, like this is really happening. Like these things are just like happening left and right. I'm praying. I'm like begging God to just like keep all of us safe while we're here. The people that did end up buying our house, like if they see this video, they already know, like we did tell them about this. It wasn't like, you know, we're not disclosing something. When we left the house, we let them know the things that happened. It's as far as what they wanted to believe or what happened with them afterwards, I don't know. But I will say this, the final straw for us, okay, no, let me back up. So one night I'm sitting at the computer. This is at the time I'm in college. I'm studying for my psychology classes. I'm writing a paper. I feel someone walk into like the room behind me. But when I turn around, all I see is a male figure, and then before I can blink my eyes, it's gone. And I'm like, and when I turned around, I said, I'm coming, because I thought it was my husband coming to ask me how much longer I was gonna be awake. So I was gonna tell him I'm coming to bed, but before I could even like blink my eyes, it was gone, but I did see it. So I was like, okay, then let me go back again. I'm really starting to freak myself out. Okay, so the final straw, the reason we sold this house was because I think we went to the zoo that day. We came home and I was outside walking the dogs, and all of a sudden I hear my daughter from inside screaming. Everybody else is inside as well. She was locked in our bedroom. Now the locks that we had, you had to turn, like it was the lock where you had to turn it in order to lock it. The door was locked from the inside. So I am like banging, trying to get in. She is only like 1.5 years old. She was too little to actually like physically turn the lock in order to lock it, because it wasn't easy to lock that door. Okay, so you're gonna have to go to part 2, because I just have to tell you about the neighborhood and the things that happen in that neighborhood.
I don't have part 2. I didn't know there was a part 2. Do you all notice a theme? Like, everybody seems to be staying wherever they are way too long. Like, the first time this stuff started happening, oh yeah, we will be putting this house on the market.
So I just saw this story about a realtor saying like, well, she had to sell this haunted house. And I'm going to tell you about when I went into this creepy ass house, okay? So I was showing houses to my client, and, you know, we were seeing like different type of houses, new ones, old ones, whatever. So we know that this was going to be a fixer-upper. So we walked in and it stunk. It stunk immediately. It just like the smell was overbearing, and the house looked really old. Like it was like old wallpaper, old kitchen appliances, just, you know, all jacked up or whatever. But you know what? That's all cosmetic, you know? So then we go down to the basement. And it's even like the smell is so bad. Like the smell is overpowering me. Like it's giving me difficulty breathing. And I'm just like, man, this isn't good. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this house. There might be a mold issue. There's something going on, okay? So then there's this wall. And in this wall, there's a little hole like this, like a little peephole, you know? And I'm like, I wonder what's behind that wall. There's no door. There's no closet. It's just a wall with a little hole in it. And I'm like, maybe the sheetrock is cracked or whatever. But let me go look and see what's in the hole, because I want to see everything when I'm showing a house, you know? So I go up to the hole and I look inside and I see a chair. That's it. There is a chair, an old wooden chair facing the hole, and that's it. That's it. There's no doors to get to that side. There's no closet. There's nothing. Just an empty room and a wooden chair facing the hole. So I look through it, I see the chair, I look at her, and I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And I grabbed her and we ran out of the house. We ran out so fast. Afterwards, I did have a headache for about 4 hours. I don't know if I had some type of mold, toxic poisoning or whatever, but yeah, needless to say, we didn't get that house.
Who would have? Why the hell would you look through that hole? First of all, the fact that you went down there and there was a hole in the wall, it wasn't the drywall cracking, it was a hole. Like a hole.
Y'all really love a good scary story, huh? No, but I'm getting good feedback from the story times, and like I said, they are I'm not here to convince anybody that they're true, but they are true. So many things happen to me, my family, people that are close to us, that there's no possible way that I could even think that ghosts aren't real, or there's evil or there's other entities, period, walking around. There's no way I could possibly not believe in that stuff. So of course I'm back with another story time. I could write a book, I ain't gonna lie. This story is actually one of, like, they're all scary. They're all fucking scary. Like, yeah, they're all scary, but this particular this particular thing that I saw, I could never ever forget. It's literally like engraved in my mind. Okay, so this story takes place in my family's first home together. Again, sharing a room with my brother. At this point, we already got the bunk beds, so yeah, I sleep on the bottom bunk. So this one's kind of short, but it's fucking terrifying. I'm sleeping, period. I'm sleeping in bed. I remember falling asleep. Out of nowhere, I hear wheezing. If you have asthma or know somebody with asthma, when you wheeze and it's bad, you can hear it. Like, it's like a, oh my God, how can you explain wheezing? It's a specific sound that's coming from the chest area, and you can hear it like I can't even, I'm not wheezing. So look up wheezing, look up a video of wheezing, somebody wheezing. That's what wheezing sounds like. And when it's bad, it's bad. You can literally hear it. So I can hear wheezing. I can hear heavy breathing. The room gets so fucking cold. And I'm like, I open my eyes, but I know I'm still dreaming. I open my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? So in the front of our bunk bed, there was a bureau. What's that in English? A dresser. And on top of that is our TV. We had a DVD player, VCR, whatever. I say that to say the wheezing was coming from there. I'm facing the wall. So I'm like, what the fuck? But I turn over. Right when I turn over, I see what is wheezing. And it literally made my heart drop to my ass. There is a man. I'm gonna describe him because it was terrifying. There was a man, an old man. He was skinny, long beard, eyes sunken in. He was so skinny, I could see his bones and his veins were popping out, like very colorful, popping out, like he was just skin and bone. And like very, very old, white hair, white beard, long, wheezing. He had those things in your nose that they put in your nose when they're trying to give you oxygen. He's so solid. I thought somebody was in my room. Like, I thought somebody got into my room. At this point, like I said, I'm thinking I'm dreaming, but even thinking about it now, I don't know what state I was in. Because like I said, he was solid. Like, I couldn't see through him or nothing. He was a man. He lifted his hand up, like, hold on. He's standing there, right up, like, excuse me. He's standing there. He's looking, the window's this way and the wall is that. He's looking that way. He turns to me, goes like this, and points at me. Bro. What? Points at he's shaking, so his hand is like this, like, he like that. And he pointed right at me. At this point, the breathing, the wheezing, everything is loud, like loud. And I'm realizing now, when you do come across a ghost, whatever you want, an entity, paranormal, whatever you want to call them. Everybody calls them something. I call them entities or ghosts or whatever the case may be. Whenever you come across them, for some reason, everything becomes more heightened. Smell, loud as hell. Your hearing.
Once he points at me,
if they touch you, that shit hurts. Like, everything is more heightened. So his breathing, his wheezing is loud as hell.
He breathes.
Once he points at me,
he walks
all I can hear is,
towards me. Like, he takes a couple steps towards me.
like, he
And
breathing. He
I forgot
walks
to say,
towards me. Like, he takes a couple steps towards me.
He's in a nightgown. He has it looks
and then he's
like
gone.
He's a hospital patient.
I forgot to say, he's in a
That's
nightgown.
what he looked like.
So, all right.
He took the step towards
He's
me.
in a nightgown. He
Like,
has it looks
1,
like
2,
he's a hospital patient.
vanished.
He's a hospital patient. That's what he
breath
looked
and all.
like. He
Just
took the
gone.
step towards me,
This
like,
is where the story
1,
gets
2,
really fucking weird.
vanished.
I get up. I
Breath
go
and
out
all.
into the living room, like,
Just
I'm
gone.
terrified. I run out the room. I go into the living
This
room
is
with
where
my
the
mom.
story gets
While she
really
crying on the
fucking
phone.
weird. I
She
get up.
crying with somebody on the
I go
phone
out into the living
because
room like I'm terrified. I run out the room. I go into the living room to my mom while she crying on the
One of her
phone.
friends or family members or
She
something
crying
like
with
that
somebody on the
literally just told
phone
her that
because
I think it was
guess
their
who just
uncle
passed
or
away?
their grandfather or somebody.
One of her friends or
literally
family members or
just
something like that
passed
literally
away
just told
in
her
the
that
hospital.
I think it was their uncle or their grandfather or
passed
somebody
away,
literally
he was
just
on
passed away
that breathing
in the
tube
hospital.
because he couldn't breathe. He died of asthma.
And when he
or
passed
respiratory
away,
issues or something.
he was on
So he was
that
on
breathing
that
tube because he couldn't
to
breathe. He died of asthma
As she
or
told me that,
respiratory
I
issues or
literally
something.
blurted out what I
So
just
he was
saw and
on
what just
that
happened to me,
tube.
Because she's asked me why
to
am I
breathe.
in the living room. I described this
As
man
she told me that,
head
I
to
literally
toe,
blurted out what I
including
just
his
saw
gown
and what just happened to me
and the ear
because she's asked me why
that
am I
was
in the
his
living room.
nose.
I described this
She hung
man
up that phone
head
so
to
fucking
toe,
fast.
including
She
his
said, "Ashley,
gown
what are you talking about?"
and the air
So I
tube
repeated
that
myself,
was in his nose.
verbatim.
I said the same She hung up that phone so fucking fast. She said, Ashley, what are you spoken about? So I repeated myself verbatim. I said the same thing that I had just said. No, I didn't bump over nothing. I didn't stumble over a goddamn thing. I told her exactly what the fuck just happened to me and why I'm in the living room, why I'm crying and shaking, sweating. She told me I described to the T what their family member looked like. So, if you haven't already guessed it, and my mom thinks this because that night their family member came to visit me after they passed away. My gift. And my mom thinks this because she's friends with the person. I'm her daughter, and I'm my gift. I didn't how you not shun it, but I didn't throw it to the side as my mom did, and I was still of age that my powers or my gift or whatever was still being developed. So whoever that was, instead of going to my mom, it came to me, or he came to me rather. Be respectful. He didn't harm me. He didn't hurt me. He scared the fuck out of me, but it's because I was a child and he looked fucking scary. This was it took longer for me to say the story than I thought. So I guess long story short, or whatever the case may be. But until we meet again, guys. Sometimes they're just passing over. And this is also a story to say that every time you see something, it's not always that they're trying to harm you, hurt you, scare you. Sometimes they're just passing over and they might pop in and give somebody a visit.
The first thing I was going to ask is why on earth would the uncle who apparently you have never met come to you? But now I see why. Now I see why.
This is a haunted house that she stayed in, and she's going massively viral on Facebook because she's telling a story about how her and her family members were tormented by some type of spirits inside of this house. On FB, she goes by J. Monroe. She was driving past this house, so she posted the video to Facebook and started to share her experience. Watch this.
Y'all look at it. What in the insidious shit is that? The blood of Jesus.
In a Facebook post, she said, not trying to stop anybody's hustle, but please do not rent this house. This house is haunted. We moved in that house when I was 16 years old, and we moved out of it 8 months later due to the most craziest and horrifying we started to hear and witness. My parents got this house when we moved back to Tuscaloosa from Connecticut. First, we enjoyed it. It was so big and the inside was spacious, and my mother decorated it beautifully. We started to get comfortable in the house as a family and as a whole. But as weeks passed, I noticed every night when I would go in my room, I would turn all the lights off and lay down, and I would hear a slight, hey. This happened every night. I didn't say anything. I would just ignore it and go to sleep. I didn't talk to my parents about it because I didn't want to freak them out. But as months passed, it didn't stop. Every night when I go in that room to myself, I would hear the slight, hey. I finally told my parents that something wasn't right in that house. It's 3 months in for us living in there. And then my mama confirmed that she was in her bathroom and she heard a radio playing down in the basement. And she asked us, did we hear it too? And we told her no. But later that night, it was about 2:30, me and Brika and my grandma was up because my grandma was sick, and guess what? We heard that effing radio playing music. So the next morning, my mama made my daddy check the basement, and the radio was found with no cord attached to it. See the comments for the rest of the story. I went through thousands of comments, so you don't have to, and that in itself deserves a follow and a share. And then she tells the story about what actually happened when her dad went to check on the radio. She says, so my daddy found the radio with no cord. As days went by, every night we would hear that same old radio playing with the same old song sounding like a classical song. So one day, my grandma and mama left my daddy in the house by himself and went to the Piggly, I'm sorry y'all, and went to the Piggly Wiggly on the west side. My daddy said He was in the bed and he thought he heard my mama and grandma talking in the living room. He said he got up and checked to see if they were there and nobody was there. He said it scared him so bad, he went and sat on the porch until they came back. The rest of the story was in the comments and it was all out of whack, but here's the gist of everything. She says that my mother contacted the landlord, Miss Annie, and told her what was going on. And she came out and told my mama that the house was given to her and her children and that they moved into the house. She said her son told her he seen something with red eyes standing over him. She also said that her and her daughter would not hear nothing, but her son was terrified of the house to the point that she moved out, fixed it back up, and then rented it to my mama and daddy. She also tells the time about these beings or perhaps spirits attacking her grandmother. She says, okay, boom, my grandma was in the bed laying down and she was sleeping. She bust out screaming, waking up the whole house, telling us that something grabbed her foot. We almost had to call 911 because she was so scared. She had a panic attack. Then she talks about the time that her cousin came to the house. And she said, then when I invited my favorite cousin to come and stay the weekend, my mama cooked for us and made us go to sleep. My cousin slept in the living room and she woke everybody up telling us she heard somebody telling her, hey. She was so scared, she didn't go back to sleep and she never came back to stay with me again. Someone in the comments was like, your house had all this going on and you kept inviting people over? Funniest thing ever. She talks about the time that her mom called the pastor and she says, so then my mom called our pastor and she came and blessed the house. And she told my mama and daddy that she seen nothing but funeral home flowers in it, and we all joined hands and prayed. But when she left, it got worse. And then I found this comment where someone allegedly knew about the house, and she said not one lie is told. That house was bad. And then she tells the story about the time another set of cousins came over. Here's what she said. And after that incident with my grandma, it got worser. My cousins drove from Birmingham to Tuscaloosa to see us, but we wasn't home, and they didn't know. They came and knocked on our door, and him and his wife, they said they heard a woman talking in the living room, but nobody answered the door because we wasn't there. They called us and asked us if we was there, and we told them no. They told us they thought we was there because they heard a woman talking at the door. I'm guessing people didn't believe her story because she took to social media to defend herself, and she says what she experienced was real. I did a little digging, and at one time, Annie Pearl Billups did own that home. And I also found that the house was built in 1945. She's supposed to be going live to tell part 2 of the story and to give us the details about everything that happened and what was the final breaking point for her family moving out of that house. So if you want to follow this story, you can go check out her profile, or you can like and share this video. Make sure you follow me, because when she does that part 2, I'm going to come back and let y'all know what's what, because this story is crazy.
The story is crazy. The person who rented that house knowing something was in that house is not a good person. Listen, and once again, I think you all stayed in that house too long. 8 months is still too long.
Hi boys and girls, it's Shane. Is this house I just got for $18,500 haunted? We had some paranormal investigators out last month, and let's find out what they had to say. We've had roofers working on it, but it's midday right now. It's too sunny for them to be working up on the roof. So let's go inside and show you what's been progressing on it. So for those who don't know, I bought this house at an auction for $18,500. I literally bought it while we were live on TikTok. So it needs a lot of work. That's part of why we got it for $18,500. We're gonna turn it into a Tim Burton themed Airbnb is the plan. And if you didn't see what was in the square in the floor, I did a video on that on April 1st. So we've had it for a while. Took us a long time to get power turned on and other things, and the house went viral. As a result, we had somebody want to come do a paranormal investigation on it because people said they saw things in the video here. So we allowed some paranormal investigators to come and stay here for a few days, and they came in with equipment and listened for spirits and did all their stuff. The name of the company was Withers Productions, and they've done paranormal investigation of many, many different kinds. Specifically of interest is this area up the stairs. Right up in this area right here is where they felt like there was the most activity when we were talking about it in advance. However, they didn't discover anything. You can see the ceiling is actually collapsed in up here. This is the room we had to take care of the bees last week. So that's the little bit that's left of the stuff that ended up in the bee colony, but the beehive was in here, if you saw that video. They did their investigation, and they've decided that this place is not haunted. They don't have any conclusive evidence. Despite what everybody in our town has always said, this has been a known haunted house for a long time. They didn't see anything that's indicative of that. If somebody else is a paranormal investigator and wants to check this house out, I would kind of like to get another opinion on it. I have had people reach out and contact me about the house that used to live here. One of them that had a person close to them that had passed away here. People that had seen strange things. My roofers have already had some strange experiences. But the paranormal team that was in saw nothing, and I respect them for that because I kind of suspected, here's something we found. Look at that. This was found here in the house. This is like something out of a 90s slasher movie, isn't it? And that is pokey. I think that's a hay hook. I'm not sure, for like grabbing bales of hay.
Are there spirits there? Yes. Is there energy in that home? Yes. Are they willing to speak? Maybe not. A lot of things need to come together for paranormal teams to gather information, and they can do everything in their power. And if that spirit or those spirits just aren't willing to speak through a device, it's not going to happen. Just like if a spirit is not willing to speak to a medium, it's not going to happen. Haunted tends to mean scary, like there are beings there that are purposely just causing trouble. And I don't feel that there. I feel like there are some spirits there, but they're not there to cause trouble. There's two sisters. One of them has their husband there, and there's a baby there, infant. But I'm feeling like the couple and the baby passed when the baby was maybe 4 or 5 years old. I'm seeing like an old Western style shootout. Not stuck. It's their home. And the sister came back after she lived much longer, but her spirit also, it's like they almost all knew to come meet here when they passed in some strange way. I feel like people see, when they're outside, they see them in the windows and they're seeing spirits pass through. Those are the three that stand out to me, though I do feel like there's other energies there. So tell me in the comments what you're feeling.
So I appreciate her take on it, but at the same time, when those people did the investigation and didn't find anything, I feel like that homeowner, because he wants to turn it into a Tim Burton themed Airbnb, wants for it to be haunted, because that would be more of an attraction for somebody to stay there.
Somebody recorded me while I was sleeping. Yo, so I don't even know how to explain this, but something just happened in my house and it kind of got me on edge. So I live in the suburbs, it's quiet, peaceful, nothing ever really happens here. That's why I moved this far out. But lately the energy, it just kind of been off. So I'm sitting in my room watching something and I heard a knock. Not on the front door and not at the back. It came from the hallway closet. Y'all, it was like 3 knocks, like boom, boom, boom. Like something was like inside the house already. So I walked out thinking maybe like a box fell over or something like that. I'm like, okay, let me check out the scene. I opened the door of the closet and it was nothing. But the air was just like cold, like inside the closet. Like I don't have any vents or anything in there, so it's no reason for it to be cold in the closet. It's hot in the house, so why is it cold in the closet? So I left the door open and just sat back down, like tried to like shake it off. So a few minutes later, I get back up and something told me to go look, and the closet door is like it's closed again, and I know I left it open. So I grabbed my phone to check the hallway cam, like facing the front room, and that's when stuff like got weird. So the footage was like corrupted, like just like static, where it should have been like looking at the hallway. But right before the static hits, I could swear I saw something just like leaning from the closet, like just barely enough like to make out the shape. No sound, no movement, just a shadow, just like leaning and watching. So that's when my phone froze, and when it finally unlocked again, the clip was just like gone, like gone. But then it was a new recording of me saved in my camera roll, just a few seconds long, a recording of me laying in my bed, like same clothes, same angle, same exact moment I was watching the footage. The only thing is, it was filmed in my room. I don't have a camera in my room. I don't know where the footage came from. I don't know nothing. But after that, the phone completely shut off. I opened the phone again. Now all of the footage is gone, and it looks like there's just been a recording of the hallway the whole time. I don't know what's going on, chat. I don't know. But if y'all with me and y'all see this, let me know something. Let me know what y'all think is going on, chat. Let me know something.
Okay, wait till you see this creepy Zillow listing. So this house in South Carolina is being sold for $130,000 in 2017. But look at this caveat. Upstairs apartment cannot be shown under any circumstances. Buyer assumes responsibility for the month-to-month tenancy of the upstairs apartment. Occupant has never paid and no security deposit is being held, but there is a lease in place. Yes, it does not make any sense. Please don't bother asking. So basically there's a squatter upstairs. Someone else also pointed out that it looks like there's water damage from a leak coming from the mysterious upstairs tenant. This photo is also posted with the listing, and I'm gonna assume that's paint just so I can sleep tonight. So would you buy a house for under market value if it meant that the Babadook was living upstairs rent-free? This is one of many creepy homes we're gonna investigate, so make sure you're following along.
I would love to see that investigation, but the fact that I am responsible for paying for a tenant upstairs, I think the hell not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The creepiest thing ever, probably in the history of what has happened so far in my haunted house, officially happened last night. Officially, 100%. So far, nothing can top this one. So, my fiance and I were laying in bed, going to sleep. Great British Baking Show is obviously playing in the background. Nothing else can relax me more. And he's like, stop taking the covers, stop pulling the covers off me. Mind you, I'm pretty much asleep. I am not moving. I am a log at this point. So I scooch my boot all the way to the other side of the bed, so where we are not touching, there is no way he can tell me that I'm pulling the covers off of him. So he turns the TV off. We are now falling asleep in silence, and out of nowhere, literally nowhere, at the same exact time, we both hear, Mom, Mom. Excuse me, I am not a mother. We both heard it. And it was coming from the bottom, like where your feet are, like that part of the bed. So I'm literally at a loss for words. The only thing I do know is that around the 1920s, 1930s, there was a fire in this home, in my house, that a family was in, and I've read that they did not make it out. So, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I get it, Gina Torrance. I get it. That is the ghost of one of those family members who perished in that fire. It is what it is. Alright, Rooted Collective, is if that stirred something in you, please don't keep it to yourself. Please like, comment, and share it with someone who's walking the line between this world and the next. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. Because around here, we stay curious, we stay grounded, and we stay wide open. So until next time, trust your intuition, protect your peace, and stay rooted.